Hello everyone, my name is Ellen from Are We There Yet? I have 4 foster kids and we love traveling. Today I want to talk to you about exploring Brussels with your kids. I want to give you some ideas where you can find information to make your own itinerary. I want to show you some footage of our trip to Brussels, and in the end I want to give you some tips on where to go with your preschoolers, your kids and your teenagers. Okay, let's get started. For our accommodation, we went on booking.com, searched for Brussels, entered the date, chose for 6 people and 3 rooms, and asked explicitly for our rooms to be next to each other. We found Easy Hotel Brussels in the city center of town. After that, we went researching information for fun activities in the city. Normally, I love reading Lonely Planets of the countries I go to, but because it was my own country, this time I didn't. I would still recommend it to people who want to get more background information on Brussels and Belgium. After researching online, it became very clear that visitbrussels.com is the website to go to for information you want to know on exploring Brussels with your kids. You can choose a language and find the choices on walking tours, museums, and highlights that are suitable for kids. Visit Brussels also has a good information center next to the Royal Palace. They have a section with all the information for families you need. Grab a map with all the highlights and you are good to go. The only thing left to do was to pack our bags and go. So on Saturday, we left to Tervuren by train to see the Africa Museum, a little outside of Brussels. This was on our bucket list for a long time now. The museum is a beautiful building from colonial times with a garden where the kids could run off some steam. The exhibit shows various themes of Africa, like nature, its animals and culture. The kids loved it and the oldest ones could have stayed longer. Our hotel was waiting, however, so we took the tram to the city center of town. We dropped off our stuff at the hotel and went to the Old Town to see Brussels highlights. We saw Brussels' most famous fountain, Mannekepis, who now has a girlfriend in a back alley, Jannekepis, and the kids loved that there was now a statue of a peeing dog too, Zinnekepis. We walked by the Royal Palace, the Grand Place, St. Michiel's and St. Hoodless Cathedral, the Spanjeplein and lots more. We all enjoyed the atmosphere of the town and the beautiful weather. We ended the day with takeaway food and a movie in bed. The next morning we did a walking tour. The one we chose was based on a TV show about Procure that our kids all love. The tour brings you around the town and lets you try out tricks from the show. This was an absolute hit with our 4 kids. There are a lot of fun tours in Brussels. On the website you can find out the one that suits your kids the most. After a quick lunch, we went to the most famous monument of Brussels, the Atomium. In the different spheres of the building, you can enjoy different exhibits. We saw artifacts from the World Exhibition in '58 and the Bruegel display. Most of all, the kids enjoyed the views, the elevators and the escalators in the building. After that, it was already time to go home. We took the train to Antwerp. Brussels was a nice surprise. Okay, here's some tips for exploring Brussels with your kids. 1. Go to visitbrussels.com. It has a lot of information and you can find some museums or tours that really suits your kids. Tip number 2, don't plan too many activities in one day. Try to make a selection and try to make a variation of kinds of activities. For example, choose one walking tour, one museum, one beautiful church or anything else that your kids will love and try to stick to that. I think kids will enjoy it more that way. My next tip is for preschoolers. This is a difficult kind of group to travel around with in a big city where all the highlights are far distance from each other. There is a hop-on, hop-off bus that's available, and I think that's a nice way to travel around with preschoolers. So maybe try that out. Tip number 4. For school-aged kids, I would definitely recommend Train World. I did this with my boys and they loved it. There's a lot to see and to do in the museum and it's not far away from the city center. So if you have the time, do it. It's gonna be lots of fun. Tip number 5 is especially for teenagers. Our teen girls really loved a graffiti tour in Antwerp and I saw on the website of Visit Brussels that there's also one there. So if you have the time, I think your teens will really enjoy this tour, and there are very Instagrammable places to take pictures. It's one that I think the whole family will enjoy. Belgium is very known for waffles, chocolate and French fries, and food is a great way to discover a culture, so maybe try that out. We did this especially for your benefit on this channel and we loved it. Okay, this is the end of the very first vlog of Are We There Yet? I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to have more information to make your own itinerary to go explore Brussels with your kids, find the information in the description down below. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Bye!